The silence of Africa is really beautiful, isn't it? I've heard these same sounds in other places in the world. They were equally as beautiful. It would be really hoped for that everyone would be enriched to some measure, as infinite or as small as it might be, that Africa would be the better and the greater for us having been here, and that we also would have been better and greater for having been here. People ask me, well, why are you going to Africa again? And I said, to check the work that we did to see if it needs to be redone, and what part needs to be redone, and what new places are we being called into to put the columns of light and this inner message of peace. I had to remind people that this was time to extend the light and the peace to the animals. We're more like the wire between telephone poles. We're just opening up the communication, and then the voice that goes through really has nothing to do with us. In much the same way we open our hearts, our consciousness to animals, and the spirit of peace that goes through to them does the work. The peace that we gain from it is being in that position to just help moderate it through. And that's what we're here for. And if we can look at animals and tree and the land and say, this also I am, then we start to establish the harmony and the peace and the balance that's necessary. Because the earth of this country is really crying out, not just in this particular state of Africa, but even through the peoples. And it's not crying out for more cars and more televisions, but it is crying out for a harmonious forwardness. It's asking for an equilibrium, a balance in it, a balance in the utilization. But also, isn't that the thing that we're crying for in ourselves? Is it possible that this inner message of peace will actually let the lion and the ox sleep together, not in fear of being devoured? It's biblical scripture that says, in that time, in that day, in that place, when the Prince of Peace is to appear, then even babies can play around the holes of a poisonous snake and won't be bit. And animals that killed each other will sleep together. And even the lions will graze grass.